the going with the flow of the moment, the specific collection of people in that evening's crowd is going to provide an energetic frequency with and for the band. And I find that it's always best to ride whatever that specific wave is, instead of something that I perceived a week or two ago when I was imagining what the show might be. I try to do my best to design a great set list always, and we play every show with a
Yeah.
unique set list and often a unique lineup. And what that allows is just like fresh energy at every single show, and that's always really fun for me. I do this for joy. I do this to bring joy to both myself and our crowds. So it's like that's one way of injecting um, just a unique flavor to every single time we play, and that's
I told,
something I picked
I
up
told,
from my. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
no, what were you? I want to let you finish that thought because I think I know where you were going with it.
Yeah, there's some things that I learned from my favorite bands, and one of those things, one of my favorite bands to see live is the band Phish, and part of what they do, and I'll preface it this way: take their music out of the equation. I'm just talking about the experience of going to see that band live. And if you haven't seen them live, I get it. I was on the other side of this for a while where I didn't quite understand the band. And once I experienced them live for the first time was actually in Miami for New Year's Eve in 2009, I believe it was.
I was at
And
that show.
you're at that show, man. We
I
probably
was.
crossed paths and we had no idea. You know what I mean? So you were
Yeah,
there when they shot the drummer John Fishman out of the cannon.
that's correct.
Okay,
Through
so
the roof, so to speak. Yep.
yeah, so to explain to everybody that has no idea what we're talking about, Fish does special things at their shows, and one of those things is on New Year's. They do what they call a New Year's gag, and they do 3 sets on a New Year's show. And typically, in the second set, they'll do some sort of special theatrical type of thing. And this was my first show seeing this band, and they did a prank where they pretended to lose their drummer. I forget the exact details of why he disappeared, but
Yeah, they
do you remember?
accidentally, like the cannon quote unquote malfunctioned and
Mm.
shot him out of the arena. Yeah, and there was some random woman from the crowd that said, "I can play the drums," and came up and played, and it was actually him, in costume or
It was
whatever.
actually the drummer in a wig that
In a wig,
secretly
yeah.
ran out to pretend to be in the crowd.
Yeah.
So my mind was blown because I was in when you're in the 400 sections at a show like this, you can't really see the details of
No, we were
that's
also in the 400 sections.
we're sitting next to each other. We didn't even realize,
I have no doubt we were right next to each other. we were
but
we were up on the side behind the drummer, so that's where we were that night. So yeah.
yeah. But all that to say, I love Fish's music. I love what they bring to the stage. But I'm just talking about the theatrical and the unique element that they bring to every show. They
Yes.
never play the same set list twice. When they're in the same city doing, 3 or 4 nights in a row, they will never repeat a song. They will, make sure that they spread out, their quote unquote hits throughout a run. And they even did this thing called the Baker's Dozen at Madison Square Garden. I forget exactly what year this was, but it's been a few years ago now.
20, I believe it was 2017.
There you go. And what they did, they called it a Baker's Dozen because they did 13 shows, not entirely consecutively. They had a couple, breaks in there for people to, be human. But they did 13 shows in a row, and each show had a theme based on a donut flavor. So, the example that sticks out to me is they did one flavor, Boston Cream, and then that night they did songs by the band Boston, More Than a Feeling, and then they did the song by the band Cream, So that those are the kind of things I'm talking about, where they make it that more than just about playing 20 whatever songs in a night. They make it special. They make it so that fans that come see them multiple times get a really fun, unique experience at every single time they come to see them.